Excavating the Archives, Making Lincoln Cathedral Library's Middle English Manuscripts Accessible. A research study by Elizabeth Egan and Abigail Laycock with supervisors Renee Ward and Claire Arend. Lincoln Cathedral Library contains over 250 medieval manuscripts, and even though many of them are in Latin, some of them are in Middle English. We chose this project to delve deeper into the medieval studies we had already started and enjoyed at university. By studying manuscripts themselves, we could learn more about the Middle English language than we would have done normally, and we could uncover the endless amounts of history hidden away in the Cathedral Library. The aim of our project was to make the Middle English manuscripts in Lincoln Cathedral Library more accessible for all members of the public, including students, academics, and anyone who is interested. Not only do we want to introduce the Middle English language to people so that they can understand where we get today's language from, but we also want to raise awareness of the importance and uniqueness of manuscripts, including the issues and themes connected to their contents and production. The outcome of this project is an open-access online resource for the public which provides information about a selection of Middle English manuscripts held in the Cathedral Library. It also highlights how the medieval is just as exciting and captivating as the modern, if not more so.
Our approach to this project was intersectional and interdisciplinary, as it was not only a study of the physical manuscripts, but of their contents and their wider implications, which called upon all our academic experience as students and greatly challenged it. The Cathedral Library is vast and rich with information, housing well over 200 manuscripts, and our first objective was to catalogue each of them so we could determine which would be of interest and which wouldn't, focusing on the Middle English texts. It was through this that we gained an understanding of the manuscripts and selected 6 Middle English texts to focus upon. We built upon our existing knowledge with sessions led by Claire and Renee. Claire instructed us on the correct handling of the manuscripts to ensure we gave them the care and respect that they were due as fundamental pieces of our history and to preserve their condition. Then, under the guidance of Renee, we studied codicology, the construction of manuscripts, how they were made, and also paleography, learning to read the hands they were written in. This all aided in refreshing our knowledge and prepared us to be truly immersed in our research, which is where our project truly took its form. We transformed from a manuscript studies and material culture approach into both literary and historical perspectives, expanding from viewing the manuscripts and texts just as physical artefacts to unpacking the stories that they told that connected us, the modern reader, with medieval culture and people.
The medieval period was a time of great music, literature, philosophy and culture that is unfairly dismissed or regarded as a literal dark age and primitive society. Really, it was a time of immense human curiosity and the pursuit of knowledge. It was a period of great social and political change, which is displayed through the literature of the time and still moves, inspires and entertains us. When we think of the Middle Ages, most people think of battles and tales of great kings. However, there is much more to it than that. As our selected manuscripts demonstrate, medieval writers and their audiences were also concerned about political happenings and the choices of those who rule society, just as we are today. Social issues of the time are evident in the literature, such as inequality and human desire to find love, both of which still remain in contemporary literature. Through this project, we challenge these preconceptions about the medieval period and connect the 21st century reader to a range of Middle English texts that share concerns with our own society. The manuscripts and texts we explore demonstrate the importance of Middle English language not only as a literary medium and a political tool, but as the earliest form of the language we now speak and which dominates much of the world's communications.
In order to effectively illustrate the way in which we carried out our research, we shall use one of the 6 manuscripts we selected as an example, Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales, or MS 110 in the Lincoln Cathedral Library, and as I will refer to it here. Our first few steps focused on the physical aspects of the manuscript, and this encompasses the condition of the text and how complete it is. Most significantly, MS 110 is missing the first 380 lines of the general prologue, and the tales are in a slightly different order to the original, which was important for us to document and identify. We also needed to know the history of the manuscript, the hands and dialect it was written in, but also the materials that were used to construct it. In this case, we were able to determine the text was likely composed here in Lincoln, constructed using vellum and written using two Anglicana hands, both in varying forms of Midlands dialects. We next needed to determine the best way to approach the text, and due to its size, we found the most effective approach would be as a team and to each select a pilgrim to focus upon. Next, we researched context of the period the text was written and of the author, Chaucer, taking on a historicist's approach in order to fully comprehend the text and to write an informed body of work. Once we were familiar with the context of the piece, we began focusing on the content of the tales we selected, using a literary lens to analyse these. Once research was completed, we took time to consider our audience, the general public, and compose a comprehensive body of work where specialist terms were defined and the information was accessible, but most importantly, what would interest them and resonate. How relevant is our information to the everyday reader, and will it be enjoyed?
By taking part in UROS, we have gained knowledge and research skills that will help with our English studies as we continue university. Elizabeth's dissertation about the formation of English political and social identities will use much of the material we have discovered throughout the project, and we will consistently find this research experience helpful in the writing of essays and further medieval learning. Abigail's creative writing dissertation and future in writing historical fiction will immensely benefit from the skills in researching history developed through this project, and we both feel privileged to have been given the opportunity to widen our knowledge and skills so greatly. Without UROS, we would not have had this experience involving the handling of manuscripts and getting to know the expansive history right on our doorstep in Lincoln. Furthermore, by taking part in this and showcasing our work, we are hoping to encourage other arts and humanities students to undertake similar projects and further research, not to mention our hopes for other English students to build on our research and get involved with medieval studies.
However, our research does not end here. We will continue working towards the end product of our project, an open access website that contains accessible information about the manuscripts held at Lincoln Cathedral Library, creating a refined educational resource that can be enjoyed by all, allowing our project to have a profound and lasting impact. Thank you for listening.